Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to the market mobile analysis. All right, everybody. The alert, I see I did set it, so it should be hitting in just a moment. Happy Friday. Let me move my little comment window here. Now, if you can see me, if you can hear me, put a VV in the comment section appropriately, and we'll get started in just a moment. But the major indices showing a little bit of positivity to the upside right now. Let's see here. Has the stream started? So I'm not getting any comments. Interesting. Can you hear me? All right. Okay. So now, okay. Sorry. I'm still learning how to do the streams. Well, I do have Clay in the background helping me out a little bit, everybody. But I'm trying to learn more of it myself. So, maybe I should have second guessed myself. But as long as you can hear me, as long as you see me, I guess I'll have a good Friday, right? But Friday would be a little bit worse if we were having issues. All right, let's just jump into it here. Welcome, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Now, we're going to focus on the major indices. You can see them right now out of the gate pretty strong, right? Now, we see the little sell-off going into lunch, right? What do we see here? What do we see here? I see a simple gap fill from yesterday, right? So you see all the little dotted lines. Those are the yesterday closes. We're seeing the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, S&P, and the VectorVest Composite trying to find some ground at yesterday's close. I see this as a nice support level. And if we get a little pivot and a rally this afternoon, that's exactly what I'd like to see today for the bulls. A nice pivot off of yesterday's close. All right. Please look at SMX 6 to 405 days. Well, Ollie G, I'm gonna tell you, $600 to $400. If you are in that, do not be afraid to protect some profits. What is going on with that? I've heard of it a little bit. Here. Jazz says, "Did you get in the UAMY yet?" No, I have not. I was getting real close when I got to low fives, but I got patience. I'm gonna let it come to me. LAES. Okay, we already got some good stocks. I like all those stocks, actually. I like LAES. As far as their quantum resistant semiconductor applications. Nice. Ollie G says, I came out early, made profit, $6 to $18. Ollie G, who knows what would have happened if you would have stayed, right? Who knows what would have happened? Hey, if you end on a good day, you end on a good day, right? Trust me, I've held lots of options where, if I held a little bit longer, who knows? Sky's the limit, right? But that's not how you think as a trader. Clearly, something happened where you took profits at $18, right? I call that discipline. Not a bad trade at all. I mean, 6 to 18, that's what? Double, triple. Hey, I'm not mad at it. And I will say this, as far as some warning here, RT relative timing, if you came in via the alert, you'll notice by the headline there, that RT did dip to 0.95, right? And let's be honest here. This hasn't been the strongest rally over the last week, right? That BSR, that health of the market, tiptoeing up. And I got into the 0.7s clearly, but with the pullback, over the last hour here, you can see the BSR at 0.7 right now. So essentially, confirmed call on the way to green. Could we get a confirmed up situation? Can we get a confirmed? Let's see here. Well, the BSR has to get above 1. Right now it's at 0.7. So, nope, BSR has to be above 1. Right now it's at 0.7. You see 5 days ago it was at 0.65, right? It's only gone up 0.05. And the last 5 trading those are 6 trading sessions here, including today. So if we carry this momentum next week, which is not a lot of momentum, I don't see that confirmed call going up. I know we've had a big barrier, at least, me, I look at the Qs there around 625. We'll take a look at that. I did see we broke above that here. Actually, let's take a look at the Qs real quick, because I know a lot of people trade that. And we'll jump into some other stuff. Oh, QQQ. Authorization has been denied. What? QQQ. Interesting. Why can I not? Forbidden. Okay. Interesting. I'm having a little app issue here. You know what we're gonna have to do? We're gonna have to jump into VectorVest 7. Let me unplug this real quick. Maybe I can't put in my login information online. Maybe I just need to refresh it here. Probably because I'm logged in on so many different things when it comes to VectorVest. All right, let's see here. Let's log back in, see if we get the same issue. If we get the same issue, I'm just gonna jump over to VV7. Yeah, I had a feeling, Carol. It's probably, yep, there it goes. I was logged in on VV7. I was trying to be greedy, logged in on multiple devices. If you don't already know, VectorVest will catch up to you and trying to put you in timeout. And clearly I got VectorVest up everywhere. As you can see, right? You forgot to pay. They kicked me off. Oh, man. Hey, I love a good laugh on a Friday, guys. I love a good laugh on a Friday. Appreciate it. But honestly, to finish out the day right now, all I'm seeing is simple gap fill. You know me, I'm a day trader. So right now, and actually with the pivots I'm seeing in the NASDAQ, the S&P, even the VectorVest Composite. VectorVest Composite, not quite as enthusiastic on this pivot. Let's get rid of value here. Let's take a look at VectorVest Composite here. Let's get rid of that. 1 day. There we go. There's the pullback that we're talking about. We got 3 months. A little bit of an upper wick there, right at resistance. So just take note of that. But all in all, if we could finish on a positive note in the second half of the day with this pivot here, I still kind of like it. Not going to be too, dramatic, too bearish at all. Still looks good overall. I will say just this rally right now. Can you explain what happened with SoFi and Baby Turbs? I didn't hear per se, but I heard something about the dilution. Didn't they dilute the shares to raise money? Something like that. If someone knows, please put it in there. I did hear about a little bit, but I don't want to speak on something and give false information by any means. But from what I understood, briefly, as I think it was a share dilution to raise capital, DCAM. You can probably just Google it though. Brooklyn and the house, please advise on Pure Storage. Oh, we're going to get your stock picks. Yeah, 1.5 billion. Okay, stock offering. Okay, that's what it was. So stock offerings. Yeah, they're trying to raise capital. Here. Now, I will say this, since we're in a Santa rally, and I know everyone's been, trying, not everyone, but most people are trying to buy the dip, especially the MTI, BSR coming off those levels, which worked out to a T recently. Even before that, around Halloween, I gave ample warning to everyone that we're heading down to those, right? So if you didn't tighten your stops, to try to take advantage of that little dip there, and it wasn't a big dip by any means. I even discussed that. I was on a daily color guard report one day that when the MTI and the BSR, the major indices, for the most part, were only 5% off their highs. So it looks like just a healthy pullback. And with that MTI, BSR, looks good. But the BSR not increasing as much as I would like. You can see struggling to get past 0.7. It's just showing me that this rally that we're seeing, not very healthy, right? So that's the first thing I want to tell you about this rally. Not a healthy rally. I'm not seeing a healthy rally right now. RT relative timing, the trend wasn't that great, but now we're even losing that momentum to the upside. You see the RT right there. It is flashing now. It flashed this morning. That's why I put it in the alert, just give everyone a heads up with that situation here. But hey, the primary wave is still up. The green light is still up, right? Major indices, they are marching in positive territory. So again, not gonna, today I would be more cautious about buying stocks, right? We're seeing some indecision. Green light up, but the trend is down. The health is actually, it's unchanged from yesterday, slightly above where it was 5 days ago, right? So I'll be honest, just from what I'm seeing in this color guard here, I see the rally. I've been talking about this since Halloween, essentially, right? This little pivot rally. Not the best bottom fishing opportunity, but it's the one we got to work with these holidays. So hopefully everyone's making some money here. Advances, say they're split half and half right now. So as far as today, if you bought some this morning, hey, is what it is. Right now, I put up the brakes on that and just make sure we get that, gap pivot that I'm talking about, especially, if you're a more active trader, right? Let's see here. Still looks good overall. Let's jump into some of these here. Confirmed call still down. Again, that confirmed call is going to remain down until BSR. Because as far as the price action, the VectorVest composite, I'd have to look at, actually, we could look at it real quick here. Let's go to 6 months. So we go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5. And the week before is 5. So yeah, we got the 5 over, week over week to the upside on the confirmed call. So price action criteria is met for the confirmed call. The only problem is the health is not there, right? The confirmed call is really designed for more conservative investors and really capture the big movements of the market. And from a price perspective, the market is moving, right? But from the health perspective, and the DEW is capturing that for us, right? For the swing traders out there, DEW has been great. If we just go back, let's take a look at the DEW here. Yeah, DEW up for a couple days now. The primary wave, and this is the progression of these signals, right? So if you go look at the primary wave, this is a more aggressive signal, right? Right off the bottom. You see the candle actually took out that big candle. That's actually a perfect confirmation level there for an aggressive trader, right? Now, if you're more conservative, these are not the signals for you, especially if you're not a trader, right? So the progression, primary wave went up, right? For my swing traders, DEW went up shortly after, right? A couple candlesticks after. Now, the confirmed call, again, if the health was there, we would have it, but we're not there right now. We're not there on it, so just be careful of this. Still looks intact, but just stay disciplined in case this rally, falls apart, right? Especially if you're swing trading. Now, if you're an investor, that's a little bit different, right? You're thinking the long haul, not necessarily, trying to make a couple bucks before Christmas. And if you don't know which of those you are, in which positions, because I know a lot of people have long-term position, 401k, and have shorter term, more options, and that's how most people work, right? Know what you're doing. Hello, Ryan. What is happening with Bitcoin today? Where's Bitcoin at, Amir? What price is it at? It's down again. Well, it did get up to that 94. Well, I said 96,000 was where the shorts probably should have been opened. And I noticed in the Jockey Club, Jerry, I think they were short Bitcoin or looking for the confirmation, which me personally, that retest, I would be bearish on Bitcoin in the short term. And you know me, I like Bitcoin overall, but bearish in the short term on Bitcoin. Let's see, my credit card bill dictates what type of trader I am. Right? Sometimes when those bills are due. Hey, we're all, yes, he's shorted. Okay. I know, I think they were looking at the 50-day moving average. And which one was it? I forget which ETF it was, but it was a bit, yeah, we got confirmation on Bitcoin short. Okay, nice. So, like my pivot level, I was looking at was around 96,000. I think it was just shy of that. I have to look at I don't really look at too much Bitcoin pricing today, or generally, here in VectorVest, I'm looking at the ETFs mostly. And actually this morning I spent more time researching how to look the Bitcoin or the blockchain network. So I was actually spending a lot of my time on the blockchain networking, looking at the hash rates. If you don't know what that is, that's pretty nerdy Bitcoin stuff is all that is. When is the time to buy? When is the time to buy Bitcoin? Maybe I should do a video on that. I'm telling you right now, the information I need for me to make a Bitcoin decision, some of it can be found in VectorVest, but Bitcoin is its own animal. And I like to look at the Bitcoin actual chart to make any decisions on Bitcoin. I'm not going to go off a Bitcoin ETF to make decisions on what Bitcoin is doing. That doesn't make much sense to me. RT on color guard went red. All right, James. Yeah, we did talk about that. RT, the reason why it is below 1 now. And look, it's lower than it was yesterday and lower than it was 5 days ago. So that trend, that momentum of the trend that we were getting off the, the BSR, was it around 0.1s, 0.2s, MTI, we're all talking about, coming off that bottom, right? We're not getting the health of the market behind us. We're not getting that good trend behind us. Yeah, we're still in an uptrend. I'm still, going to be bullish right now on specific items, but I would be selective and I wouldn't, just don't let this thing turn around and whatever money you made coming off those MTI and BSR bottoms, evaporate. That's the point I'm trying to make here. Netflix's sell. Well, I did read an interesting article how that the buyout of Paramount, Warner Brothers, could affect their stock negatively a little bit. I think we could get better deals on Netflix. Did Ryan say bye to Netflix? You know what? We go, hey, so you want to talk about Netflix? We talk about Netflix. Because Netflix, I love Netflix. I mean, it's like a Robin Hood. It's industry disruptor. I mean, it's changed the game. It's changed the game, right? That's why I like Robin Hood. But guess what? Look at the trend. No, I told you guys this. Wait, what? And you know what I told you to wait for? Look at the value. Overvalued. 85. Right now we're at what? 99. We're in a downtrend, right? So right now you're catching a falling knife. At least short term. So yeah, right now I'm not a buyer of it. I would be defensive because I don't know how much the sell-off is going to partake. And as far as, I'd find more details, but no, I'm not a buyer right now. But I think if price action shows some opportunities, and if those opportunities are under $85 right now, that might be smart. I would buy at 80. Okay, Ology. So yeah, I could say, yeah. Sorry, there's something on here. But let's look at something here. Other than it just bought something. Let's see. Growth rate earnings, 22%. Sales growth rate, 19%. Positive earnings per share. It is not a bad stock by any means. But look at the timing, right? Look at that. I don't even need RT. Who needs RT on the chart to tell me that's a bad time to buy it, right? And yeah, if you buy it today, because I see the upper wick, if that was you, that was aggressive. That is catching a falling knife. Going down because they had to go and polish Stranger Things till Christmas. I love Stranger Things. I think I'm episode 4 now of the new season, or 3 or 4. Right now I have put options on Netflix. Unmissed it. You missed it. I still like Netflix, but I'm not going to say now is the time. Look at the earnings per share. Let's look at the growth rate as well. Actually, let's see if they're growing their earnings. That would get me excited as far as an undervalued position, right? Indicator here. EPS. Oh, we don't have growth rate earnings on the chart here. I forgot about that. All right, we'll leave it EPS. Let's show value. Look at the value. Value is rising. Price is dropping. This is where opportunities can be made if you have patience. Patience. I've said this many times. If you're in a stock that's way over VectorVest valuation, do not marry that stock. Because if it starts coming down, a lot of times they like to find our valuation. The stock was trading around 130. That was just 6 months ago. Let's go to a year ago. Stock was trading at 130. Yeah, the stock's just been trading on a premium. But guess what? Now I'm seeing with price action pulling back and value and earnings per share pushing the fundamentals up, there might be a good opportunity here in the near future. So I would not sleep on Netflix, but no, I'm not going to just buy it willy-nilly today. Why would you buy it today? Other than this, which is probably why I had the big upper wick, this little pivot from over here, which, yep, you can see matches that exactly. So it's just a trade setup pivot. I don't see really any confirmation from that pivot. All I see is a big upper wick right now. I'm thinking of rolling over Netflix and put to call in the near future. I pray the family is. Damien, which family? Which family are you talking about? I'm trying to move up to catch up with you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Family's doing good. Family's doing good, man. Family's doing good. We're going to go to the Charlotte Christmas parade tomorrow. Anybody doing anything fun for Christmas? I feel like we only have serious conversations. Let me know what fun things you are going to be doing in the comments section as we go forward here. Netflix diluted. Warner Brother. Yeah, so that was in essence what I saw in the article is that's going to potentially cause some short-term problems. I'm not going to base my trading on an article, but I could see that dilution, right? But those problems, what can those problems bring us? Opportunities, because the underlying fundamentals are looking better and better with this company, right? Would be fun to have Glenn back. Keith, you ain't lying, man. Tell you right now, Glenn, I'm going to see him not tomorrow, next Saturday. We're going to hang out. Actually have the VectorVest Christmas party. We're going to get our little dance on, maybe. I'd love to see him dance. So we'll be hanging out with him and his wife. if I can get some photos and they're okay with it, management's okay with it, I got no problem sharing some photos of Glenn. I know he's very loved in the VV Nation here. And obviously when I talk to him, because I'd rather talk to him and see him before I give you an update. But everything I'm seeing, and as far as messaging his wife and everything, he's on the right track. He's on the right track. Like I said last live stream, I'm not going to rush him. His health is my number one concern. I'm going to Nepal during Christmas break. I want to see Everest first. Ali G, is that a real thing? You about to go see Everest? Because that is like a bucket list item, I'm pretty sure, for a lot of people in this channel. That's cool. That's cool. Road trip because I'm old and would break bones if I tried to ski. Well, if you're ever in Granby, which is Winter Park, Colorado, my mom is a ski instructor there, and she's specialized work with small children. So I'm sure she can handle some of you guys on the slopes. I want to try to get out there too. I've actually met some customers out there last year. If I go out there this year, if you guys want to meet me out there, I'll let you know, and we can go skiing together. If you don't know how to ski, be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Because it's dangerous. All right, Netflix, like I said, this one I'd put on a watch list, a shopping list, especially, if you're a long-term investor, you're looking for a core holding here. No, now is not the time, and probably next week probably won't be the time. But after the, this buyout thing, if we get price below valuation because the sell-off, it's still pretty steep right now. I could see some opportunities there, definitely. All right, speaking of opportunities, let's go to stock pick ideas real quick. We're going to do a couple of stock pick ideas. I'm going to jump into your picks. Let's check high momentum stocks, right? Because, and the reason why I'm clicking on high momentum stocks, because the color guard is telling me that momentum in the market right now, not easy to find. Health in the market right now, not that easy to find, right? So why not, especially if I'm a trader, now obviously, if you're a investor looking for some long-term holdings, may not go this route. But if I'm looking for momentum, because RT ain't going to do nothing today, this is a list I would consider. This is definitely a list I would consider here. So let's see if we got some fish on this list. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Why I'm looking at a high momentum list? Because the market ain't giving me that momentum. So maybe VectorVest can help find some momentum in that market for me to take advantage of this, right? Let's see here. Netflix. What about AMD? I like AMD. I have to look at it from a chart perspective. Investor wise, I'd still like it. But we can look at the chart, get some short-term perspective on it. Hey, let's all do Pizza Hut after this. Pizza Hut. I wish they still had the pizza buffet. Remember as a kid, man? Oh, well, me as a kid at least, the pizza buffet. I liked the pizza buffet. And they had the dessert pizza. Who would get that dessert pizza? Tell me. Now, look, as an adult, I probably want to eat that stuff. As a kid, AMD is burst. It will go down with OpenAI. Interesting. We'll see about that, Ali G. We'll see about that. I don't know about it going down. I know it's in the struggle box right now. Yes, I miss the old pizza. All right. Now let's see if we've got some opportunities here. Let's see. You know what we're going to do today? This is how we're all on the same page here as I've been watching. If you haven't noticed, I've popped in to the Jockey Club a couple times this week. I noticed they're looking at the 50-day. So let's just incorporate the 50-day. So that way your instructors are on the same page here at VectorVest. Oh, and blue line. Yeah, we'll do teal blue works. All right. Teal blue line is going to be our 50 here. Right? What am I going to tell you on this? If you're not in it, have some patience. Get closer to the 50. It's worked so far. It's worked so far, right? And if it breaks the 50, yeah, you could feel some pain in a little bit. That upper way, and look at that doji. There's a little bit of a doji today, so just be careful. I like this level of support here. If you're really trying to put some tight stops on there, you maybe take a little off the table since it's going, from 100 to 180. Maybe here, this high, which is around 168, possibly a little trim area if it starts to pull back. Because that's between this high and this support right here, that's where I would like to see the next pullback catch, right? And look where that 50 is moving. couple days from now, maybe next week, the following week, 50 could be right in that area. And that could be a good trade setup. That might be the Santa trade right there. Because that's, if it does happen, like probably right before Christmas. So I actually like that. That's COHR. Let's look at the next one here. That was a good fish. This Lumentum, I'm already going to tell you, short-term bearish. I was in the Jockey Club. I see resistance just from an upper trend line there. Overall, clearly it's an uptrend, 50-day. Closer to the 50 if you're thinking about buying it. I do like this. Well, we did get the retest here. So yeah, if we don't, what is that high? The close is 306. I'd say 306 is where I'd really like to find some support on Lumentum going forward here. And this is a short-term perspective play. I mean, long-term investment, look at lower left, upper right. Yes, the 50 is at 250 or trading at 331, right? So if it does decide to come back a little, you could feel some pain there, right? You could feel a little bit of pain. Christmas tree color. That is not what we want for Christmas, right? We do not want the color guard to look like a Christmas tree. We want it to look like a green light. That's it. I don't want the reds in there. Yellow and green's okay, but I don't want the reds in there. What do you think of all AI chip stocks? Well, seeing how I used to have prior to Glenn situation, I used to do semiconductor Thursdays, right? Well, actually, I stopped that right at the beginning of the tariffs. I think that was the beginning of this year, because obviously that would affect chip stocks, right? If you guys didn't notice that, I think I did a couple maybe this summer. Last night was obviously on chips, but yes, AI chips. Just be careful of some of those premiums, some of those chip stocks. But I'm still going to be bullish on them. Boil is boiling. Good, like a bullish boiling. Because I've heard natural gas is going to be big right now. Not only because we're going into winter, because a lot of these data centers and stuff are utilizing natural gas. And actually, it's funny we say this. Essentially, because we've always seen natural gas as being more of a seasonal trade, kind of like petroleum, summertime, usually a good time to be bullish on summer, going into summer before the rest of the pack decides that, right? But AI data centers, that's where I would research. If I'm going to trade natural gas, I'm not a natural gas trader, but just from some of the headlines and what I'm seeing online here, I would look at AI data centers and their impact on natural gas demand. As well, interesting enough, a lot of tech companies, I saw an article earlier today, are hiring energy traders to get lower price contracts, right? Makes sense. So if you start to see some volatility, maybe I don't know if you want to call it manipulation, whatever it may be, but I could see big tech trying to take advantage of the energy industry, right? But overall, Lumentum hasn't even had a hold in the last sell, right? So if you see a little pullback of Lumentum, don't be too worried, but you just gotta ask yourself, the 50-day looks like accumulation, good time for accumulation. So if it does get stagnant, if price action gets stagnant and that 50-day keeps rising, maybe look for the next pivot to get in. That would be a nice, logical and easy trade setup if it were to happen. But rising earnings per share, phenomenal. Not a bad stock at all. Let's go back here. And this one's down. Applied Materials is down. Let's see here. CRS. Oh, CRS. Stay disciplined on this one. That 20-day, the 50 that we're touching now, you see the last wick, got a little pivot on there. Feeling that pressure, and I don't see a wick today. So be careful in CRS. I'm not going to be bullish on this position right now. And we already got, what is this? Ooh, we might come back down here to try to retest this. That close is 286. So a little bit of luck and some patience. I'd look for a pivot there if you're thinking about CRS. If you're holding it, don't be alarmed if it goes down there and touches it. That's all I'm going to say. SanDisk, it's parabolic. If you got the hands to hold it, or not SanDisk, Smart Sand. This is a new stock. Smart Sand. Anybody heard of this one? I'll be honest. even though it jumped from $2 to $4, look at the value. Qubit sold, cover cold. Texas has also built a huge stations for LNG export. I'm keeping an eye on that one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The natural gas plays, because the problem with uranium, because I know everyone, uranium, so, I mean, there was a lot of momentum trades there, a lot of money to be made, but the prices got pushed up a lot really fast in some of these uranium stocks. And also the problem with uranium is that it's got competition now from a lot of other energy sources, right? And uranium requires a lot of, you could say, red tape. Right, it's a lot easier to probably put some solar panels than a new nuclear facility, right? Or natural gas, right? So that is the problem I have with nuclear, uranium. Obviously, I see the technology, but I see those opportunities taking maybe a little bit longer to come to fruition from a fundamental standpoint, just because the layout, the time it takes to put up a nuclear facility compared to just switching some natural gas routes or putting up some renewable energy. And I will be honest, one of the video concepts I'm coming up with for 2026 is renewable energies. I know I'm not a renewable energy person. I'm really not an energy person. But the more I'm learning is because the cost have came down. We've seen lithium, solar, wind, all that stuff. The cost has come down. Now there's arguments, and a lot of them, because a lot of these companies are doing it, is that it's becoming more energy efficient than some other ones, right? So I'm going to do some research. I'm going to see which stocks, have some of the best opportunities. Compare that with the VectorVest software, and hopefully we got some recipes for success next year. But this stock here, this is interesting. Let's go to 5 years. Look at the support here. If this sucker comes back just shy of $3, let's see here. Trying to find a high. 270, 280, it looks like. That's where I would look for support on this. And that value rocketing, earnings per share, turnaround story. The stock is cheap, it's under $4. Not a bad one. But right now you're chasing momentum, so make sure you know that. Otherwise, I see the opportunity maybe on that pullback there. And it would be undervalued at that point. So not only does it have trade opportunity, it's got actually investment opportunity, right? And rising earnings, that turnaround story, I liked it. This stock, very gappy. I'm going to forget that one. What is that? Laser Tech. NGL. All right, natural gas. Look at the value. Boom. This is what I'm talking about. Natural gas, right? Let's see here. Where does NGL to AI data centers? Oh, interesting. All right, so I just researched it. I just asked Google when I say I researched it. I said, does NGL sell to AI data centers? Nope. It doesn't. That's what Google said. It's not currently selling directly. Not directly. It does have partnerships. Oh, okay. Other companies have, but not this one. Interesting. UAMY. We're going to look at UAMY. We're going to look at it. BKV. Honestly, I like that. I don't even know what it does, but just look at a chart. I see the breakout of consolidation. I see the value rising, price rising, EPS turnaround went from negative to positive. Well, this is 5 years, so let's go to 1 year. It looks good there too. It looks good there too on it. Look at the value. Look at the earnings per share. I like this. EVOC? No. Google, 2 times bull. Not wrong. Not mad at it. But just know it's going to be 2 times more volatile than regular Google, right? Just know that. That's nice. Look at the value. You could see the flag formation right there. Breakout to the upside. Not only am I seeing bullish chart patterns, obviously the momentum is there, but look at the value, the earnings per share. When I see technicals and fundamentals match up, that gets me excited. Alcoa, this is not bad. Going from $20. Value's rising, prices are over 40 now. Was it 44? Nope. All right. I'm going to look at my little UAMY real quick. Actually, maybe a couple others. I'll look at some stocks here. First one I'm going to look at UAMY. I wish I had this on VectorVest because we broke out of the channel. Looks like we might be getting a fakie on that channel. So if y'all bought that breakout, that is on you. I'm looking for the bottom. I've been told y'all it says 80 cents. Well, it went up to $21. I'm not rushing to get into it. I think I can get it to under 5. I'm going to get into it under 5. Watch me. Watch me. I'm going to wait for it. I don't really like that. Y'all can like it. I see a little pivot off support. Look at some momentum yesterday. Everyone like, oh, rare earth. Big upper wick today. I ain't falling for that trick. Not falling for that trick today. Nope. Now, if you are in it around $5 or $6 already, you're all right. You're all right. Look at that. Value keeps moving up. Where's the value now? Let's see here. Value. 428. 428. We watching you, Ryan. We watching you. Let's see here. 428. Earnings growth rate 50%. Sales growth 238. Trust me. You don't think I wish I would have bought that 80 cents too? I'd be doing this live stream from a big old boat. But the next play I get on UAMY, I'm going to be a part of it. Trust me. Hopefully I helped you this year. 511 average cost for me. Nice, nice. And what I like about UAMY, obviously it's part of the strategic rare earth reserve and all that crazy good stuff. It's got the defense contract. But some of these other rare earths are just so overvalued. You know, yeah, there's opportunities there. But all it takes, this stock was at $20 not long ago, right? So that means that ceiling just got pushed way higher than I thought it was going to be, right? I mean, I thought I would have been happy with $5, went from 80 cents to $5. And then it became a national attention stock. So I want to get into it when there's no one paying attention to it. So that when everyone starts paying attention to it again, I'll be happy, right? Just kind of like I'm going to try to do my next Ethereum purchase. Because I do own Ethereum. It's actually the only crypto I own. I've owned it for a while. Around 2. I'm not selling them. I don't trade them. I don't sell them. Let's see here. Let's see here. Any other good fish? We've seen some good fish on here. Let's see if we get some other good fish. Look. Coca-Cola. Interesting. Silver. Okay, let's see what silver's doing. Still running. Yeah, silver's doing good. The UAMY of under $5. I still think I can get it. Right? Hey, I did a great call when that started crashing back down. Was the first thing I did. I looked out for my boy Glenn and I said, "Hey, y'all better sell that thing," because he bought it off my recommendation a long time ago. He was sitting pretty on it. Hopefully, I even did a follow-up message with his wife. Hopefully they did. And there's another opportunity. Guess what? I'll message them again and say, hey, y'all should probably put this one on your radar again. Here is silver. This is what I'm going to say about silver and gold. Don't overthink it. They've been going up, right? Until we fix our debt crisis and all that stuff. I don't see them not going up. So just keep it simple, right? Look at this 50-day. Actually, this is a 40, right? It don't take me that long to figure out, hey, maybe I should just keep buying around the 40, and that could just be a simple gold strike or silver, whatever it is, right? I'm not going to buy off the hype and momentum, see when it gets overstretched. Boo, I don't want that. I want these little opportunities here around the 40, right? Unless you're trading gold or doing something different, but if you're just an investor trying to hedge overall, and honestly, gold's doing a little bit more than hedging these days, right? So yeah, I'm not going to overthink it. I wish my mom had more of a trading account. I would just do it for her. Let's see here. I need to get my mom a trading account. She doesn't want one. She's not like me by any means. Let's see here. What is on here? I want a good one. Gap, no. Rollins, no. Let's do this. Let's go to Screener. Explore screens. So I got some screens on here. What screens I got? All kinds of little random screens here. Explosion breakouts, hammer, head, modified bullish. Nah. Let's do 10, 20. Let's do this one. Oh, Andrew, look at the stocks that popped up. The first one here. Last run, December 5th. So this search here, look for crossovers, right? Let's go 10 and 20 day EMA crossover, right? Looking for fresh momentum. And with an RT just turning red or flashing red right now, some fresh momentum. I like that. And guess who's got fresh momentum y'all been talking about? Old Meta Platforms here. Fresh momentum on the list. Rhombus, Salesforce, SanDisk, Floyd, all these stocks here, if you're holding them, they just got fresh momentum. Fresh moving average crossover. That's a good moving average crossover too, a 10 and a 20. It's not a little 3 and a 8. That's a little bit more momentum behind those moving averages per se, right? So let's look at these here. Looking good so far. Look at nice transition. Let's go to 3 months here. You had the price pressure on when it came to flow tech, right? Broke the 50-day. Oh, that's a weighted moving average. Oh, moving averages, not weighted, simple. Sorry about that. I thought that looked a little off. Until I look at charts a lot if I know the difference between a weighted moving average and what a regular moving average should look like. That's probably looking at charts 8 hours a day, right? Look, it's flow tech right back above that 52, transitioning and back into a buy rating, strong earnings. This is a nice one here. I like this one. 1974, silver traded at $4.70 per troy ounce. How much is a troy ounce now, Furby? How much is it? I'm just curious. SanDisk, lower left, upper right, value ticking up. I like that. And I like this pivot. Look at the support, the 50 moving right into that. I like that. That's not a bad one. Salesforce. Look at the valuation on Salesforce. When did it become so undervalued? Because look, I always traded at like a premium, and then it sold off. I'm gonna be honest with you. And look at this little support here that you're seeing. Look at this prior swing high here, right? Look at that prior. Oh, not that one. Oh, this one. Where the little box is right here. That swing high. That's what it's catching on. I like that. I'm not gonna lie. Did the value, the earnings. Let's see here. Zoom in. Look at that big body candlestick today. Yeah, we could get rejection pretty quick. It could be a fakie. This is what I'm gonna look at right here. See the top of this consolidation around 270. What's that moving into, right? The 50's moving right into that zone. If at this point, I want to get above that, right? I want to get above that. And if this stock wasn't undervalued, I wouldn't be considering it that much. But with rising earnings, undervalued. Oh, it just touched the 200-day, Josh? Yeah, I'd get excited for CRM. Y'all can sleep on it if you want. Look at that. Look at that. It looks like a triple bottom, don't it? 1, 2, 3, kind of. Right around the same level, yeah. Could be a triple bottom here. That's a lot of momentum. Is that 200-day, John? Was that the last touch there around 220, if I had to guess? Is that why we're seeing that momentum right now? Is that 200? If that's the case, let the dust settle. I'm not going to buy right off this momentum just because you missed the trade, essentially, right? The 270 level, that's some real confirmation. $58. Really? I'd have to do some research on silver. But silver's gone down from $4.70 an ounce to $58. I don't think gold's had that. Gold's gone up, right? But only assume. It's been a while since I've looked at a long of a gold chart. CRM would be a good stock to play with a call diagonal and go out 9 months with the long call and sell shorter duration calls. John, for a more experienced options trader, it's not a bad way to do it, right? And you probably do that trade in less capital and get a little bit more reward too. Not a bad trade, but yeah, if you know about options, probably not a bad idea. I do like this though. Rhombus, overvalued. Look at this pressure at the 50. Look, just getting back above it. Just getting back above it. I would look more for short-term momentum here. I mean, obviously the prior swing high. I still like it. I said, look at lower left, upper right, and look at this pivot actually. Is that right? My fingers are too big. All right, let's get this low here. So it did touch this little guy back here. Interesting. I like it. I like it. Schwab? No, it hasn't done much. No. If you're in it, hey, look at the dividend. You're in it for a reason, right? It's undervalued from a fundamental standpoint. Yes, just the momentum is not there. Been trending back, showing some weakness on that 50. So I'm not going to be a buyer of it right now. Meta platforms. Well, if you're already in Meta, not a big deal, right? But right now, we just see a little hesitation right at the 50, right? Rejection yesterday. Today, we're right back above it. Yeah, I like Meta, honestly. Undervalued, too. Yeah, if you got in a Meta around $600 recently, probably not going to be mad at it, honestly. That's a good quality stock. Let's see here. Oh, it's already $12.45. All right, let's jump into it. All right, you know what time it is. Last 15 minutes. Let's get to it here. Go ahead and put in first 10 stock symbols going across there. Let's go ahead and take a look. Let's take a look at the top 10 you guys got for me today. I believe the Bunker brothers tried to corner the market back in 1974. That affected the value of silver. Interesting. I'll look that up. I like weird history like that. Let's see what happened in that time frame. All right, CLS. Light. FSLR. Okay, for solar. I hear you. Someone was listening to what I was saying. I don't know if that, I haven't done the research yet. I don't know if that's going to be in the list, but we'll see. I'm not going to say yes or no. I think I've got a lot. Qubits, yes. AVGO, TNA. There we go. Sanda. All right, last one. TEM. Tempest AI. Great watch list. Do 12. 5. I think it's the 5th, right? 5th? Yes, 5th. All right, let's see what we up at the top. Lumentum. Start with the worst one first. CoreWeave. Boom. You didn't think I was going to do that, did you? Keep you on your feet today. All right, here we go. We got CoreWeave. Let's see your 1 year chart. Six months. In the descending channel, I have on the VectorVest 7, I'm still going to be a no. I'm still going to be no. This pivot here, the CoreWeave pivot was coming off of this right here, right? Talked about this. You see the pivot coming right off of it. From what, about $60, getting close to 90 here. This is a swing trade. Telling you right now, swing trade. So if you're diamond hands in this thing or whatever you're going to do, think you're going to do with it, it is a swing trade. Treat it as such. Yes, I still love CoreWeave. And some of the others, NVIS, Iron, I talk about those a lot. The Hunt brothers back in 1980 tried to quarter this. So is that the same Hunt brothers where I see a little pizza in the gas stations? Do they get in the pizza business too? It seems like they covered the pizza business. Anybody remember what I'm talking about? Those old Hunt's brothers pizza things in the gas stations? At least on the East Coast. Maybe not so much on the West Coast. All right, Bill, did you treat it like a swing trade? We talked, I think I said it straight up on a live stream. I said when CoreWeave hits $60, put a little alert there or something, because that is going to be a pivot. The pivot perk playing down from 60 to 90 is 50% in a week or two. What is that? Maybe 2 weeks, right? Don't be so greedy. Don't be so greedy. right? We're at level resistance here. You see the resistance? Let's go to 3 months, right? You see the resistance here? Well, there's resistance on this one. Oh, I click on it. My fingers are too big. Oh, I don't think it's going to let me click on it. There we go. There we go. If it breaks below the zone, not the line, the zone, that's when I would have concern, right? That's when I would have concern. Was a LT got out with small profit on CoreWeave. Okay. Hunt's tomato catch. I'm sorry, it was a Hunt brother. Was LT got with a small profit on CoreWeave? Oh, was a long term. Gotcha. So you've been, oh, gotcha. Okay. So you probably took advantage of that pivot to get the last couple bucks. Did you, just curious, Bill, did you run it up to 180 and come back? Did you run it to 180 and come back, or some of those shares, Bill? I'm just curious. Maybe you don't want to tell me. That's fine. But that's got my 2 cents on CoreWeave. Right now, the swing trade is still in effect. Just be careful. Qubits. I talked about this before, this resistance level here. This prior swing high here before the jump. And at the 50, there's just a lot of reasons for rejection when it comes to Qubits, right? It went from 20 bucks up to 30. Qubits is a swing trader stock. I mean, unless you're in it for like around 10 bucks or under, that's just a very aggressive long-term hold. No, I would never say let's buy Qubits for 30 or 40 bucks and just diamond hands it. No, never would I say that. But Qubits overall, still like it, still uptrend, still in a hot space. I'm not going to sleep on it, but it's just got a lot of reasons for rejection here. You clearly could see that in the price. It's down 7% today. I mean, it went up 50% in a short time. So just know that was the trade. Here's Tempest. Our average cost on CoreWeave was in the 80s. Was that recently in the 80s, Bill? Like on the way down? Or was that on the way up? Just curious. Here's Tempest AI. I'm going to tell you something with Tempest. You know, if you're in this one, just keep it simple. Look at this. Like these little lows here, right? Draw a little line that connects these lows, because just looking at this chart here, it looks like they would connect rather easily, right? So it looks like you're just in a, stay above the trend line. Obviously, the best opportunity is going to be closer to that trend line. Stay disciplined if the price, drops below the trend line. It's the easiest trade out there. You just need discipline and good stocks. Where do you find the good stocks? Here at VectorVest. All right, MDGO. That's just a breakout runaway. Breakout runaway. You got to ask yourself how much wiggle room you want to give yourself on that, right? Maybe look like the 20-day. That's usually a good time to look for pivots, right? But from a fundamental standpoint, it's way over $600, and we buy it less than 100. Earnings per share to go positive. No, let's go to 5 years. I do like that trend to the upside, not gonna lie. And if we do get a little pullback, it might be right around here. About 530. Looks like right in the middle of that candles. You see the swing high and the swing low there. Interesting. TNA. Actually, one thing I did want to do. Let's go to this. The forecasted data. 35%, 362%. Okay, you're like a little UAMY, the pharmaceutical industry, right? But you're way overvalued. That's my only problem, right? It's still a good stock. But again, just try to stay above 550. There's that little swing pivot here. That's where I would look for support. Clearly, the 50's moving up to the 500 level now. But overall, not a bad idea. Overall cost. Okay. The thing about CoreWeave, NBIS, Iron, and I've said this a lot in my videos. I mean, these companies are garnishing huge contracts. Right? Like CoreWeave, their revenue is jumping. I don't want to say the numbers, but essentially, if I remember correctly, it was about tenfold here soon, right? And a lot of these companies are. But if you look at the price action, right, a lot of them jumped tenfold too in the same time period. So weigh that out to each other, right? And more important, I want to see these values start going up in some of those stocks, because value looks at forecasted growth rate and earnings, right? And after these deals get placed, a lot of these forecasts should start going up soon, right? So that's why I want to see the value tick up, and that's why I was talking about iron. You know, if I can get it close to 30, because right now I think value is at 20, it's trading in the 40s. Meet somewhere in the middle. I think it might work out well for a long-term trade. And all it takes is another little AI bubble talk, right? I'm sure that might happen at some point. And that's where the deals might be made, right? And VectorVest will let us know where those deals are. Solid sum of the core weave and the one sold. So, okay, there you go. As long as you just, you know, I'm like Glenn. It doesn't matter how much I love the stock. I love AMD, but I got no problem telling you when AMD is not, showing the best characteristics, right? And do that with any stock. Just don't fall in love with them. Make that money. First Solar. You can see why solar's on my radar right now. You see why, right? Look at it. What am I going to say? Value rising, price rising. I'm not even going to say it. Damn, should have. Sorry, I'm sorry. Alex said should have stayed in solar. Like I said, a lot of, let's do something here. We're talking First Solar here, right? First Solar out of the gate, trade at a premium most of the time, right? You see, it was undervalued. But the cost of all the business, 2024, the value drop, price is dropping. But now, let's see here, that was in May. So by like June, July, we're, if we just zoom in here, look at this. Value dropping, price dropping, right? Exactly what we don't want to see. That's why, you don't marry stocks, right? You don't trade with emotions. You trade the charts. This is why I don't want to hold. But look at now, right? Especially we got all kinds of resistance levels there. But by here, and all that stuff's out of the way, we're actually getting some confirmation. I see value rising. I see price rising. Look at this. That looks good so far. That's 5 years. Let's go to 6 months here. That's beautiful. And the value's at 360 right now. Yeah. Right now, we're like midway through the range. You see the top of the range. You see the bottom of the range here. We're midway. So you're probably going to get a midway price right now if you bought it. Not a bad stock. I like it. Here's Broadcom. Again, I like Broadcom. The only problem with Broadcom I have is just it's over its valuation, right? Trust me, I see what they're doing with Google. It's important. I did a video on it last night. Not many people watched it, apparently. It's overvalued, right? And I said that in the video. I'd like it. I'm going to stick to the technicals. As long as it stays above that 50 like it's doing, hey, stay in the trade, right? But if it starts dropping below that 50, me personally, I'm not going to be afraid to take some profits off the table. And the reason why I would do that is because it's overvalued, right? It's not like an NVIDIA. It's not like a TSM. It's not like a Micron where it's greatly undervalued. No, people are paying a premium for this one. So I just want you to know that. SanDisk. I mean, it's a pivot off the 50 support level. Your first test of confirmation is going to be around 239, it looks like. Probably 238, if I had to guess, on the lower end of that zone here. Let's go to 1 month. That high, let's see here, the open, 225, close, 223. Yeah, 225, that doji, the high of that doji, 237. Yeah, I would like to see it above that. Follow the chart, not your heart. That's it, man. That's it. I'm telling you right now, that value indicator, I don't care if I worked here at VectorVest or not, I would be a subscriber, and the subscription only thing would pay for itself, which is MTI, BSR, and the value. If I just had those three, time the market, see what a stock's truly worth, and with some technicals, VectorVest can make you so much money. It's not that hard. This one here, you got a nice pivot on an undervalued stock, right? So even if I'm a more conservative swing trader, yes, I would like to look for pivots on undervalued rising stocks. SanDisk, rising, undervalued, nice pivot. This is a more conservative style of swing trading, right? Now, if you get a Qubit, that ain't conservative. I'm going to tell you that right now. So if you think you're a conservative swing trader and you're trading Qubit, it's probably not the one for you. This one looks a little better, right? This one looks a little better. Let's see here. Celestica, let's go to 1 year. I'm not going to fight that. And I'll be honest, look at the consolidation pinching. If I just drew a little, I have a feeling I might pivot back down. maybe a nice little trend line on the bottom, but looking at it right now, we might break. If you just draw a trend line, you know, this high, maybe this high. If it breaks that, that's the confirmation I'm looking at this point. If we look at RT, I'm just going to assume it's above 1 because it's, you know, clearly trending in the up style. So I'm not even going to put it on there. But again, overvalued, right? So even if I'm a swing trader, which me, you know, I have my aggressive moments and my unaggressive moments, right? Now a buy again rating 2. Yeah, yes. I mean, these are phenomenal stocks you guys are giving me. That's a nice trade setup. Not really a trade setup here, but you know, coming off that 50, not too overextended from the 50, which is nice if I want to accumulate a share or two. Let's see here. Light, let's look at light. Light, way overvalued right now, right? So at this point, you know, unless that value starts rocketing anymore, and I still like the company, again, I'm not going to trade my chart, because if you bought this thing at $100 not long ago, it's now over 300, right? We don't want to lose all those profits. I'm not trying to go sell it today because it honestly don't even look like it's in that much danger right now. But I will say, I mean, just looking at these candlesticks here, if you draw a line here, you can see where the resistance likes to come in play. It's right here. I mean, you just draw a trend line from that high to that high. And that's probably where you want to at least consider taking some profits, or are at those highs, right? Because the one time it doesn't come back to meet up there, I mean, it's going to start dropping, right? And it is overextended from the 50. So as far as buying it, I'm not going to be a buyer. If you're holding it, definitely, right? If you do buy it, is a high momentum trade, right? Is a high momentum trade. So if you're not comfortable with a stock, that could go from, you know, double essentially. Let's see. In 3 months, that's a lot of volatility for some people, right? So just make sure the stock is for you. It's still a good stock. I like it. Oh, that's the last one today. Nice. All right, let's go to the market overview. Let's see how we're finishing out today's live stream. Hopefully those little pivots, those little midday pivots are trying to shape up. And it looks like they are. You can see them right there ever so slightly. Let's look at the intraday, one-day intraday. There it goes. Double bottom pivot, gap fill. Pretty nice. NASDAQ, double bottom. Really, the confirmation is going to be this swing high here. We'll see how the day follows out. But I do like these bottoms. I just need these bottoms to hold today. I need them to hold, especially with that RT going red and BSR not moving a lot. SPX, let's go to 1 week. So this is what I'm talking about here. You see the gap from last night? See how it shot out of the gate this morning? Well, me being a day trader, I can tell you, candlesticks, they like to naturally connect. If you've never noticed that, candlesticks like to connect to each other at some point, right? And usually the closer, like if traders are pushing that connection, almost you could see it. Like they try to come out the gate this morning and the bulls are like, we got a big gap down there. We don't want that. Let's connect it, right? So it brought it right back down and jump back up. So I like this to finish the day so far. If I had to guess, I'd feel a little bit more optimistic. Not a huge up day, but I do feel optimistic going out to finish this week. Do we need BSR 1 and RT1 for confirmed call? BSR has to be above 1. Clay, RT doesn't have to be above 1, right? Do you know? Actually, I'm almost positive it's BSR. I should know that. Confirm call. Does BSR and RT need to be above 1, or is it just? I think it's just BSR. Yeah, I'm thinking it's just BSR. Actually, what I could do, because I want to give you confirmation, I want to give you the right information. Let me just unplug my iPad real quick, because I already showed you the chart pattern I wanted to, and I can just look at it. Yeah, I can look it up in VB program. And actually, oh yeah, switch it over here. There we go. In case you don't ever know, if you go to portfolios, for example, let's just do my portfolios. Why not? I haven't used these in a while, clearly. Let's see here. If I go to edit, select an existing trading system. Oh wait, nope. Build a custom trading system, my bad. See here, this will take you to all the market timing signals. Now you do, this uses the auto timer here. This goes through all our signals and it shows you the exact rules. So if you did not know that, this is in VectorVest 7. And as far as confirmed call, so we're all on the same page here. Buy sell ratio greater than 1. That's what I was telling you. We've already got the 5-day over 5-day, right? The price action is there with this rally. But RT is telling me there's not a lot of momentum in this rally, right? So try not to be that greedy. You're hitting home runs, just take the home runs and run. The BSR has to be greater than 1, right? So we're not seeing the health in this rally. So if you're, when we get that confirmed up call, that's all that's telling me is that now finally the health of the market is back into play. We see at 0.71. It's just been a slow grind to the upside, right? Slow grind. MTI above 1, I like it. Green lights, I like it. Rally still intact, just not necessarily the rally we may have wanted, right? All right, yes, maybe just BSR above 1. Ron was saying RT is usually a lagger. And I don't want to speak on necessarily what Ron was on because I don't know what context he may have been referring to when it comes to that regard, okay? All right, I think we had a confirmed call last time while the RT was below 1. Yeah, RT is not going to be a factor when it comes to a confirmed call, right? And in this scenario, RT is actually the quicker indicator, right? It's rising quicker than BSR, but just not seeing a lot of health. And with that red light, we saw it in the mobile app. It was flashing today. Normally, we actually don't show the color guard, but I guess since you see it in the mobile app, it doesn't really matter. So just take note of that. Otherwise, hey, the rally's intact. It was a recent color guard report. Okay, that would make sense why they'd rather have the BSR, because when there's really a good blast off, you guys and gals have been with us for a while, that BSR can jump. Right? And I'm not seeing that jump. That's why I'm not, backing up the truck and just, throwing out speculative stocks for everybody. Because I still want you to be disciplined with this rally. Now, if it starts shaping up a little bit better, we'll throw in some better trades there for you. All right, everybody, enjoy your weekend. And hopefully we'll finish out with a nice gap fill today for the bulls. Take care.